know this one. When the world gets you down and you're feeling lonely, when you can't find your truth or find your center, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we love each other, and the scars that you see will keep us stronger. We breathe it in together, we'll hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. So we're free, so excited to be united with you. Where love lives, where love lives. When your life gets you down, you can see the future. When it all seems too much for you to handle, there are many here who gather together. Oh, unconditionally, we pray together, and the love that you feel will be set free. We breathe it in together, we'll hold you up with grace. You know that love lives here in you and me. Love lives here. Our soul breaks free. I'm so excited to be united with you. Where love lives, where love lives, where love lives. Sing with me, come on. Love lives here.
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, there's a place where you can take comfort in not knowing whether if you come to stay a while or just pass through. This door is open to you. Come, let's be silent. Come, share a hug. Come, let's play together. Come, love and be loved. From the snap to the time down, from the pamper to the abuse, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. God in us recognizes the God in you. No matter what go wild, gain your strength. The strength is not you. This door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, just know you're not alone. And someone cares for you. Has an individual position of a divine point of view. This door, oh, this door right here is open for you. Oh, this door, I'm talking about this door. I said this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. God recognizes the God in you. No matter black or white, in your state, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open. It's open to you.
Mia Woman, Neto Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. We here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living acknowledge that we gather on the ancestral lands of the Cahuilla, Gabrielino Tonga, Keech, and Luiseno peoples. We commit to live in right relations, to love our neighbors, to seek justice and loving kindness, and to walk humbly upon this land. We recognize our oneness so that we may decolonize our minds and set each other free from the pain of racism and violence, to live better as God intended, in harmony with nature and with one another. So Good morning, beloveds. It is great to have all of you here with us. I am Reverend Jeffrey Ryan. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to serve this beloved community, Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, where love lives here. Love lives here. It's great to see all of you joining us here in the sanctuary and joining us online at home too. So let's give a quick shout out to those beloveds there at home. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Mom and Dad in Vegas. Good morning to Anita and Frank. There you are. Good morning. Good morning to Corey. Good morning, Denise and Earl. Good morning to Ann and Amber and the Hollister Williams family. Dinah and Stu are back there in Kentucky right now. And aloha kakayaka to Wayne and Casey and Coco. And good morning to Patty Clark. And good morning to all of you here as well. Today is the first day of spring. Yay! So a blessed Ostara to those who celebrate Ostara as the vernal equinox, the spring equinox. So that is exciting as well. And look around. You're seeing faces. So effective this week, we have moved here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living to masks are strongly recommended. We have, through the entire pandemic, we have always followed whatever has been the strictest guidance when it comes to working with and living in the pandemic. And so just recently, this past week, masks are no longer required, face coverings are no longer required in our education school, in K through 12. They remain required for transportation, they remain required when you enter any kind of medical facility or nursing care facility. However, the state of California has now moved to it being strongly recommended but not required. And so we do invite you, if you are more comfortable wearing your masks, by all means wear your masks. If you are more comfortable without your masks, by all means, whatever it is for you, we recognize and honor and celebrate everyone right where they are through whatever experience they're moving through. And so we recognize that that wearing a mask is an opportunity for personal choice, as well as we all have our own experiences in life and what may be important for some. It's important for us to continue wearing masks for some folks, and it's important for others not to. So we just want to recognize that right where we are, the presence of the divine is, and we are at free choice and agency. And as long as the Riverside County stays in green and things stay the way they are, we will continue to operate this way, however, in this way. If the state should decide to shift things again, then we will go back to what has been. So, but for right now, enjoy seeing each other's smiling little faces. How's that? All right. So we're going to start off this morning with a newish song to us. Kind of, not really, but we're going to start off and singing and moving and grooving. So I invite you to stand and sing along if you so choose. And aloha. Good morning. Buenos dias, Doris. Glad to see you. Good morning, John and Lupe. All right, here we go. There we go.
All right, you guys can sing this as rock and roll. Well, now I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. Praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God. I see the Spirit in you. Now I see the Spirit standing right behind me. 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 Praise God, praise God, praise God, praise God. I see the Spirit in you. And now I see the Spirit standing right beside me. 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 Praise God, praise God. I see the Spirit in you. I see the Spirit everywhere around me. 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 Praise God, praise God. I see the Spirit in you one more time. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. I see the Spirit standing right in front of me. Praise God, praise God, praise God. I see the Spirit in you. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ed Ryan. I'm one of your licensed spiritual practitioners here at Riverside Center for Spiritual Living. Practitioner Francis Drake and I will be available after service for a brief moment of prayer in the prayer room located in the lobby. Please don't leave here this morning with anything on your heart. We would love to pray with you, and we absolutely know that prayer works. Now, please allow this music to take you into the silence, followed by this morning's invocation. So I just invite you all to take in a deep breath. Let it out and close your eyes if you're comfortable in doing so. As Dugal and Jeff sing us into the silence.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Every hand I shake, every embrace, every thought I think, oh, yes, Spirit flow through me. Every word I say, every night and day, I want to be an expression of your unfolding love. Every decision through the confusion, flow through me, Mother, Father. I open up to let the Spirit lead the way. I'm not worthy, 'cause I know that as I believe, so it is.
Finish so we just allow Spirit to flow through and as us here and now, recognizing that that Spirit, that God truly is all there is. It is that flowing essence of love that supports and sustains all life, that peace that passes all understanding. It is that effervescent joy of life, that deep abiding connection of energy and vibrancy that flows through all life and creation. It connects us all here and now, for we are all one. We are all one with God, one with each other, where truly there is only this one. And as we come together this day, we see Spirit all around us. We see it manifesting in the smiles of the faces of everyone around you today. We see it in the beautiful nature, the trees bellowing in the wind through the windows in this sanctuary. We see it all around us, and every moment is an opportunity to connect even deeper with Spirit. Every moment is an opportunity to have the courage to say yes, to recognizing that deep connection that resides right where we are. And so we do have that courage to say yes to ourselves, to taking moments to play, to recognize who we are in every moment, and to be at one with Spirit, and to take that time for self-care, to take those times for meditation, to take those times to relax, to take those times to get away to the beach, to the mountains, wherever your sacred spot is. We have the courage to say yes to God and yes to ourselves. And in doing so, and allowing ourselves to say yes to ourselves, we can show up as better versions of ourselves when we show up in those roles where we support others, whether it's as a parent, a child, a sibling, a spouse, a partner, our roles in our work. Simply by saying yes to ourselves, we show up as clearer, more defined versions of Spirit in our everyday roles. So today we simply say yes. Yes to allowing ourselves to experience that joy in life. Yes to allowing ourselves to let go of anything unlike that joy, any fears, any worries, any anxieties, any sense of separation from God. We let that stuff go and just allow ourselves to be those empty vessels, just waiting for the impress of Spirit and allowing Spirit to flow through us so that we can be greater expressions of that Spirit, individualized but still one with that Spirit. So I give great thanks for our willingness to walk this path, to be that greater expression, to say yes to ourselves. And I know that as we do so, we open up into that greater connection with ourselves and with Spirit. And for this, I am so grateful. And so it is.
I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I will be tender with myself. I will be tender with myself. I will behold myself like a newborn baby child. I am easy on myself. I will be easy on myself. I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. And I will only go as fast as the slowest part of me feels safe to go. I am gentle with myself. I am gentle with myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am tender with my heart. I am tender with my heart. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child. I am easy on myself. I am easy on myself. And I will hold myself like a newborn baby child.
Thank you, Jamel. Thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Ed, for your beautiful invocation as well. So let's say good morning to a few more folks. Good morning to Constance, and good morning to Debbie Lynn, who's both of them are joining us online this morning as well. So great to have them with us. All right. So this year here at Centers for Spiritual Living, we are working with the idea, the theme for the year is Living Everyday Wonder, and specifically this month the theme is play. And today we are talking about rest and relaxation is the key piece of the key theme for this day. So let's say our focus statement, shall we, with all of the R's, because we're focusing on rest today. So let's say it rigorously, raucously. How else are we going to say it? Rambunctiously. Resolutely. Resolve. Radiantly. Radiantly. Rainbowly.
Relaxedly.
Relaxedly, razzmatazzially. Okay, here we go. All right, so it's right there on the screens. Here we go. We embolden people to live their highest potential through the transformative power of love. Yes, indeed. So, a few questions for you right off the top here. Have you gotten caught in the swirl? Have you gotten caught in the busyness of life? Even though you may be retired, have you said the phrase, because I know some of you have, so don't not admit to it now. Have you said the phrase, I'm more busy now than before when I was working? Yeah, yep, snaps for that one from Michelle, right? All right. Yeah, absolutely. And, we get caught in the swirl, we get caught in the busyness and the business, and it's like, and we forget sometimes that, rest and relaxation are an essential part of life. And, we're so busy, we're so caught, it's just like, you know what, I'll just rest when I'm dead. And that's the title. I'll just rest when I'm dead. I got too much to do, there's too much going on, I don't have the time to rest. Are you kidding me, Jeff? I don't have the time to rest. I gotta keep going. I got a mortgage to pay. I got food to put on the table. I got dog food to buy. I gotta keep going. But, How many of you have run into that? We've been on this hamster wheel of life and running and running and running until life decides, okay, you haven't taken time to rest. I'm going to give you some time to rest. I mean, it's just been in that situation, right? Yeah. And our little furry friends, they're so wonderful, really. You know, we have with us today, we have Aussies right there, and I see Joey back there too. You know, we have these furry friends that are so wonderful, and they really show us the way if we are open to receiving their little messages for us. Because, you know, dog spelled backwards is, yeah. So, I mean, you know, and we also know that God, Spirit, is everywhere present, and Spirit is forever revealing itself to us, through us, as us, and not only us, but oh, look at little Ozzy right there with his little rainbow bow tie. He got all dressed up to be here today, right? Because dogs, for the most part, are pretty chill. They're pretty relaxed. The natural state is they're relaxed, they just kind of hang out. They see a squirrel, they might bark and feel like, oh, it's okay, right? And then they come back and it's like, okay, waggy tail, can I have a treat now? Okay, yeah, now I'm gonna go take a nap. You know, it's a real state of relaxed living. It's a really relaxed way of being in the world, of walking in the world, right? You know, Oliver and Paisley aren't sitting there at home plotting with each other. It's like, okay, now I'm going to do this and you do that, and then we're going to get the squirrel. We're going to get him. We're going to get him today, right? They're not plotting in the morning for them to try and get the squirrel, and at night they're not like, oh, we missed that squirrel. We missed that squirrel. I don't know if we're going to get him tomorrow. I don't know if we're ever going to get him. They're not worried about whether they caught the squirrel or not. Didn't catch the squirrel, right? They're not plotting like, how can I get more treats from Dad?
I don't know about that.
Right? Oh, that dad. This dad is like, no, go talk to him. Right? But no, so they're not plotting, they're not planning, they're not worried about where their treats are going to come from. They're not worried about paying the mortgage. The only thing they're concerned about on Saturday mornings is that noise that's going on outside, that somebody is in my yard and you are cutting the grass or you are making noise and blowing stuff, and I don't like it. It's pretty much that's the stress level all week long. It's just that one little bit, and then you know, the gardeners go away, and we're back to like, okay, let me go inspect to make sure everything's all right. Okay, we're good. And then wagging tails again, right? But you know what? That state of relaxation that our furry friends are experiencing the majority of their lives, guess what? That's our natural state too. That's your natural state. Our natural state isn't to sit up and wonder and fret and worry. Our natural state isn't to plot and scheme and try and figure out how we're going to get more stuff. It's not, the natural state is not, okay, we had this problem at work and now I need to solve it and I'm losing sleep over it, or I had a conflict with my beloved and I'm losing sleep and I'm waking up and I'm not feeling well. Our natural state is also a natural state of harmony, balance, joy. What are these words? These are also words for the divine. How does the divine operate? How does the universe operate? The universe isn't chaotic. The universe operates in divine harmony, divine order. It's peace that passes all understanding. This is the true nature of the universe. And if spirit is all there is, God is all there is, and these are the qualities, and this is how spirit and the universe, God, whatever you choose to call it, operates this way, as love, as peace, as harmony, as joy, as balance, as order, then that then has to be our natural state, because there is only one life. There is only one wholeness, one totality, and so we live in a holographic universe. That the totality of spirit is everywhere present, always, in everything, as everything. So therefore, it must be true that we are that as well, correct? Yes, right? Ernest Holmes says the highest most God and the innermost God are one and the same. And anyone who lives in close contact with the indwelling presence can be a revealer of truth, can live from that centered space of Christ consciousness, of Buddha consciousness, of oneness. And so it is then when we encounter all of the activities and busyness that is going on in life, we can, when we begin to shift the way we see things and shift the way we perceive things and shift what we're being about, when we live in close contact with and in harmony with and in awareness of spirit, then we come to realize that no matter what is happening out here, no matter what it is that I'm being called to do, no matter what activity I'm being called into, that it is not me, it's not me that's doing the work. It is the spirit within that performs these things. It is spirit that goes before me and makes the crooked places straight. But the only way I can access that is through rest, is through play, is through fun, is through laughter. The only way I can access that is by being still. Be still and know that I am the divine. Be still and know. To be still and know is to go within and to recognize the only place we're going to find that is in the silence and in our own consciousness. Because consciousness is all there is. Consciousness is the ground of being. So when we are caught in the doing, we are caught on that hamster wheel of life, we are caught running to and fro, here and there, hither and thither, yonder and whatever, right? When we're caught in that, we are caught in the thinking that I of myself have to do something because I of myself need to experience something, because I of myself need to get more, because I of myself have to have more. Because what is that rooted in? That is rooted in a that is rooted in a belief in lack. It's rooted in a belief in separation, because it's rooted in a belief that, like, you know what? I don't already have it. I need to seek externally from myself to find it, to get it, to acquire it, to keep up with the Joneses or the Fernandezes or the Smiths. I'm the one that I have to keep that up. I get caught in this because what I've bought into and what we've bought into, what you've bought into, is what is referred to as the race consciousness or the collective consciousness of separation and lack. We get caught in that busyness because, oh, I don't have enough time. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I don't have enough love. Oh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. So then I'm seeking outside myself. And I'm participating in whatever activities I'm participating in an attempt to get something else. And so all week long, we're working to the weekend, right? We're waiting for some far off or some delayed reward, or some delayed gratification, some delayed wonderful experience. Whether you're working 5 days a week and it's like, oh, finally the weekend, hallelujah, all right. Right? And part of that is rooted in the larger context of society, of that we're waiting for an afterlife to start living. We've been taught to wait
that we suffer now and that we're rewarded later. That we work hard now and our hard work will be rewarded later. Whether that is on a weekly basis or even when you think about work. Oh, I gotta work until I get to retire. And then once I get to retire, it's like, yay, I get to retire. I'm rewarded for my years of working. And once, for a lot of people, once it's like, I get to retire and they retire and it's like, wow, I have this freedom and wow, I'm just as busy as what I was before, if not more so. Because it is so difficult to rest and play. It takes a lot of courage to rest and play and relax in a society that values and rewards exhaustion. Oh, that's exhausting just thinking about it, isn't it? So we think like, oh, I just got 2 more days to a day off, or I just have another week to a vacation, or I'm counting down the days, or I'm counting down the months to retirement, and then. Except life doesn't happen and then. Life happens and here and now. Not then. Not then. So a shift in consciousness, a shift in thought, a shift in idea, and perhaps of approaching life then, is being fully in the where, in the now, in the present, rather than trying to project out. And we can be fully in the present and fully in the presence of the divine when we rest, when we relax, when we take that divine pause and simply be. Now, this can take a number of forms. We can do it through prayer. We can do it through meditation. We can do it sitting and listening to music, or going and sitting by the lake and just enjoying nature. We can do it in a number of ways. And there is no right way, there is no one way. So when I think of relaxation, or when we think of rest, I invite you to broaden the horizons of what rest or relaxation might look like. And define it more as, what brings you joy? What do you enjoy doing? What do you enjoy experiencing? What brings you life? What invigorates you? What gives you that sense of inner peace and inner calm and inner balance? And that is how we can choose to define relax. We relax into it, because another way of looking at it is going into the flow, that we are relaxing into the flow of life, that we're no longer trying to push or row against the flow of the river of life, the current of life. We are now going with the flow. We are in the flow. And when we go in the flow and with the flow, then what happens? Things start to line up for us. Things get a lot easier when we stop trying and we stop efforting to make things different, where we stop the, right? What is it Yoda said? There is no try, there's only do, right? But beyond there is only do, there is no try, there's only do. Beyond that, there is no try, there's only be. Be. We get caught in the doing and we forget about the being. The beingness and the being with a big B. So we get caught. Get caught. Again and again and around and around and around and around. But when we remember, oh yeah, I can relax. Spirit's got this. God's got this. The universe has got this. Why am I struggling? Why am I efforting? Why am I making it harder than it is? Spirit knows. Spirit's got it. And so when I relax into Spirit, when I relax into the divine, whether it is playing chess or whether it is laughing with friends or going out dancing or whatever it is that I'm engaging, when I relax into it, when I allow myself to be fully present in it, then balance, I return to balance. I return myself to the divine order. I return myself and I experience freedom. I experience joy. I experience peace in the moment. And the more that we choose to engage in experiencing peace, love, joy, order, harmony, guess what? The more we are going to experience peace, joy, love, harmony, balance. If we get caught in the swirl and we are focused on what we're worried about, and we get caught in that, and we begin to feel the emotion of that, we get to feel the worry, we get to feel the fear, we begin feeling it, what happens? What do you feel? What do you experience when that happens? More of it. We just continue to experience more fear, more doubt. Oh my gosh, I can get caught in a cycle. That happened this past Tuesday. Allison was there. She witnessed it. A thought got a hold of me, and I just went there. Oh my goodness gracious, did I go there? I was like swirling around the drain. Oh, here we go, right? And so what did I do? We're talking practical living. We're talking practical spiritual practices, and spiritual practices go far beyond, as we've already established, far beyond prayer, far beyond meditation, far beyond community. And last week we were talking about laughter as spiritual practice, right? So what did I do in that moment? I laughed and I laughed and I laughed until my sides hurt and I couldn't, I was like, and just that circulation of air. And then, while I was no longer circling the drain, I was just sitting on the edge of the sink watching it instead. I didn't leave the bathroom, so to speak, right? I didn't leave the kitchen sink. I didn't completely go away from it. But I got to that place, was like, okay, I can just observe this. I can watch this. And that's what I mean when we're talking about practical ways of living, practical ways of applying what we know, the spiritual truth that we know, the principle that we know. All right, Spirit has this. Let me laugh because I recognize I'm being ridiculous right now. So let me go ahead and laugh at myself. And it brings me back, to center. Did the world end on Tuesday? No. So when we delay, and we're always projecting out into the future, we're not living in the present. So rather than waiting for some future reality that may or may not occur, why not focus on the here and now? Why not focus on the here and now? Because it's not your time off. It's not the quality of your time off that's going to give you the rest or the restoration. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to be on vacation for a week. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be fine. And, there is that saying, no good vacation goes unpunished, right? Because what happens is, like, we go on vacation, we have a great time on vacation, then we come back and it's like, ugh. Or even the last day before we come back from vacation, a lot of times there's the, oh, okay, so it's back to the whatever. So what if you decided it didn't have to be that way? What if, instead of waiting for the vacation, we had little mini vacations throughout the day? What if instead of waiting for the vacation or waiting for some far off feel good, what if we changed it and we felt good every single day, that we began to structure our day in such a way where we can experience more joy, we can experience more relaxation, and you know what? We can be more productive at the same time. What? More productive and more free time? Impossible. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nothing is impossible in the divine. We live in an abundant universe. So when we have an abundance and we experience an abundance of joy, we get more joy. So how do we restructure? So here is a very practical tip for restructuring your day, restructuring life, restructuring priorities. So I see Allison's got her book out. Here we go. All right. So there's a few different tools that we can use, and we can use them in conjunction with one another. First is know what is your zone of genius, your zone of excellence, your zone of competence, and your zone of incompetence. This comes from Gay Hendricks' work, The Big Leap. So knowing your zone of incompetence, those are those things that's like, yeah, I really shouldn't be doing that because it's going to take me 10 hours to plug in my computer or whatever. It's going to take me way too long. That's my zone of incompetence. I really shouldn't be doing that. Somebody else can do that. It'd be better if somebody else did that. Our zone of competence is that zone where we're all capable. I can do it, you can do it, they can do it. And so if we have those zone of competence activities too, perhaps it is better for somebody else to do it rather than you do it. Then we have our zone of excellence. This is where we frequently get caught. We get caught in the zone of excellence because this is something I'm really good at. And people also like to keep us in our zone of excellence because it really benefits the whole. And then we have the zone of genius, which moves beyond the zone of excellence. And the zone of genius is that fires you up, that lights you up, that when you are spending time doing that particular thing, time expands. You don't even notice the passing of the day. 1 hour could feel so much greater and more expansive. Like it's one of those times when you look down at your watch and go, whoa, how did it become 12 o'clock already? Wow. Because you were engaged in joy, you were engaged in creativity, you were engaged in something that really brings you passion, but you were engaged in your gift. You were engaged in your purpose. So identifying those is one of the first things. What are those activities? Then we get to look at how we schedule our time or how we prioritize our time. This is another way of looking at things. Our culture is so ingrained in a sense of urgency. It has to happen now, or it has to happen yesterday. And so what we tend to do is we tend to prioritize our lives, we tend to prioritize our time and how we spend our time based on urgency. And what did we talk about with urgency a few minutes ago? Urgency, that sense of urgency. Some things are truly urgent, but a lot of times that sense of urgency is really rooted in the belief of lack, the belief of limitation, the belief that there isn't enough. So there creates this sense of urgency. So here too, there are four aspects to look at. There are those high things that we value immensely that are highly urgent. High value, high urgency. So I don't know, maybe paying your electric bill has a high value for you? Yeah? And maybe there's a high urgency because if you don't pay your electric bill on time, then your electricity could get shut off, right? So there's a high urgency and a high value. Then conversely, there's a high urgency, but a low personal value. And this is usually when though you have those requests from other people. Like your boss goes, I want this by whatever, or I need this or whatever, and that kind of stuff. That it's a high urgency, but it might be of low personal value to you. And so when we get caught in the urgency, we get caught in this loop of urgency, high value, low value urgency. And so we begin to prioritize everything by urgency. then what we have a tendency to do is we have a tendency to default to low value, low urgency. And then we call it self-care. Oh, I can't deal with this. I'm caught in the overwhelm, so now I'm just going to watch reruns of NCIS. I'm going to clean out the closet. I know my desktop on my computer is really cluttered right now. I'm just going to clean that out because I don't want to have to deal with any of this. I'm just caught in an overwhelm. So the low value, low urgency, those pieces are important. That's, perhaps cleaning the house, changing the cat litter, whatever. Those tasks, there are tasks there that may be important, but in the larger scheme of things, it's that. So the piece that we're missing so far in all of this is the high value but low urgency, that there's not a time deadline on it. And that high value, low urgency tends to be where your zone of genius is, tends to be where that creativity lives, tends to be where that divine calling, that divine spark tends to be in that high value but low urgency. And so in a high urgency life, the thing that gets focused on the least tends to be what we value the most, what gives us the most life, where we experience our creativity and our purpose, that tends to take a back seat to everything else. So how about we shift our priorities? How about we shift how we organize ourselves, and we shift it based on value? And we start using our time based on what our priorities are, what our calling is, and what our passion is. And then we can use the third piece of the tool, which is a time management skill, if you will, that Carey Nieuwhof has presented, and he refers to it as doing what you're best at when you are at your best. Doing what you're best at when you are actually at your best. So he aligns the high value, that call, that high value, that generosity, or that genius, aligns that with the time of day that you are the clearest, that you are the most productive, that you have the most energy, because we all have those windows. You know those windows where you're just like, wow, I'm just like scratching that off my list. Boom, 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 boom. And then we also have those times of day it's like, oh my gosh. Just trying to keep our eyes open might be difficult, or something that we need to do feels like it's going to take us 3 hours when we know in our hearts it should only take maybe 10, 15 minutes, right? That red zone, if you will. So he has green, yellow, and red zones. And so knowing when you're at your best and then putting your high value items, your high ticket items, your high return items in that time frame when you are at your absolute best, not only helps get them done and moves you forward, but it frees up time in your day because you're able to reprioritize. So, when you're in your red zone, that's a perfect time. When you're in that zone of low energy, that's the perfect time to exercise. It's a perfect time to meditate. That's a perfect time to be quiet, to be still, to do something toward relaxation, toward rest. And so we can actually have this and build it into our day, throughout our day. Sit and enjoy a cup of coffee. Nothing else is going to happen anyway. So why not enjoy the time? Rather than fighting against the slump, enjoy the time. Allow it to be fruitful. Allow it to bear fruit. Allow that to be a moment of deep connection with Spirit in a quiet way, in a silent way, and be present for that. have your vacation, have your rest, have your relaxation daily. What would that feel like? What would that feel like? Can you imagine how that would shift for you? How taking the time and scheduling the time to be with yourself, to rest in the divine, to relax into spirit. And then what unfolds? Just allow life to continue to unfold. Spirit's got it. Spirit's doing it. Spirit as you is already doing it. So why struggle? So I invite you this week, you ready? To say yes to the rest. You could say yes to the dress too if you wanted to, but say yes to the rest. Say yes to the rest. Feel the breath and just say yes to the rest. Trust and know, and simply be. And so it is. So I invite our practitioners to please stand and surround the sanctuary. And our core council members who are also present, I invite them to join them. And let's come together in consciousness, shall we? Recognizing right here and right now, there is just this one power, this one presence, this one infinite, eternal, this one that in this moment I choose to call God, I choose to call Spirit, I choose to call love. And I know that it is balance, it is order, it is harmony. It is that consciousness that in the beginning created all of life through itself, of itself, as itself. So I know that it is the source and substance. It is the supply that maintains and sustains its beloved creation. It is the very source of creation itself. It is the source of life itself. In fact, it is life itself. And I recognize, therefore, that I am one with that one, that is the very who of who I am, that right where I am, the power and the presence of love is, the power and the presence of spirit is, the power and the presence of life is. And I know that it is forever maintaining and sustaining me. And as I know that this is true of me, I know that this is true of all of life, of all of creation, of each and every one gathered here this day, that each one is a divine emanation, impartation, and manifestation of this one life. And that each one is being maintained and sustained, and each one is an expression of spirit itself, living, moving, breathing, and having its being in, through, and as each one. And so I know that God's got this. Spirit has got this. Whatever this is, Spirit's got it, because Spirit is all that there is. And so I can relax into this knowing, and I can speak my word here and now for this beloved community as we relax into this knowing that all is truly well, that all is in divine right order, all is in divine right harmony, all is in divine right peace, love, balance, that all is unfolding in absolute perfection and grace, because there is no other way for it to unfold other than with ease and in divine ways. It is the one way, the only way for it to unfold, for it to be, because Spirit is all there is. And knowing that Spirit is all there is only harmony, there is only order, there is only balance, there is only love, there is only peace, and I can relax into that, and I don't need to effort. I don't need to try. I know that Spirit goes before me and makes the crooked places straight. I know that it is the Spirit within me that does the work that is set before me to do. And so I know that Spirit's got it. I need do nothing more but be receptive to Spirit itself. And just allow myself to be used by Spirit. And so this day, I rest and I know. I relax and I behold. I play and I am joyful. And I rest in divine joy. So I give thanks. I give thanks for the perfection. I give thanks for the wholeness. I give thanks for the beauty that already is, that always shall be, that is right now. And I release this word, knowing it is done, knowing it is complete, knowing that it is full, and I say yes to the rest. I let it be, and so it is.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is love. In the stillness of this moment I feel love. I feel love. In the stillness of this moment, I feel love. I feel love. And I rest, I trust and breathe and know. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. In the stillness of this moment, I am peace. I am peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness, there is peace. There is peace.
Thank you. All right, so as our beloveds come forward in service this morning, collecting on behalf of the congregation is Frank Connolly and Cindy Lambert, and receiving on behalf of the congregation is Francis Drake. So one of the easiest ways to contribute to Riverside Center for Spiritual Living and participate in the flow is through our text to give. So simply pull out your phone and type in 951-419-5858, put in the amount you're choosing to contribute in this moment, and then hit send. It's just that easy. It's just like texting a friend. If you wanted to contribute to our Two or More Fund, you're welcome to do that the same way. Just type in the amount you're choosing to contribute and hit the word and type the word more following that. And then that goes to the Two or More Fund, which helps support the buildings and grounds. You can also contribute online at our website, riversidecsl.org, and in the upper right-hand corner, you will see the word contribute, so you can click there. Or if you happen to be here in the sanctuary, You can contribute easily here in the sanctuary. So I invite you to take out that which you're choosing to contribute this morning and place it over your heart space. And let's say this blessing together. I give and receive freely and generously. With an open heart and an open mind, the universe responds to me in kind. I know that my beloved community is richly blessed, and so it is.
Well, I'm grateful for the love that you rain down on me. I'm grateful for the love, for the love. And I'm grateful for the love that you rain down on me. And I'm grateful for the love, for the love. Well, I'm grateful for the bounty that you rain down on me. I'm grateful for the bounty, for the bounty. Yes, I am. And I'm grateful for the bounty that you rain down on me. Oh, I'm grateful for the bounty, for the bounty. Well, I'm grateful for the blessing that you rain down on me. Oh, I'm grateful for the blessing, for the blessing. Well, I'm grateful for the blessing that you rain down on me. Oh, I'm grateful for the blessings, for the blessing. Well, I'm grateful for the love that you rain down on me. Oh, I'm grateful for the love, for the love. We are grateful for the love that you rain down on me. We're grateful for the love, for the love.
Thank you. So just a couple of announcements before we head out onto the patio for coffee and snackies. And if you are enjoying coffee and snackies, we still invite you to help us with that in terms of making the coffee or something. Just choose only one Sunday a month. It's not that hard, just one Sunday a month, and just you take on the responsibility of making sure the coffee is made and the snackies are laid out. You don't even have to buy the coffee or the snackies. They're already there. You just lay them out. So, yeah, and I said the word snackies, and I realized that we have fur babies in the room, and they know that word. So, sorry there, Ozzy. Sorry there, Joey. Yeah, I don't know that we have any snackies for you, but something for the future. So next Sunday, we have our 80th annual membership meeting, and that is going to be at 1 p.m. on Zoom. Please make sure, if you are a member of Riverside Center for Spiritual Living, please make sure that we have your correct address, email address, so that we can send you the Zoom link, and you can verify that with Trisha. And the office open Monday through Thursday, 10 to 4. We will be sending out the Zoom link for the meeting on Thursday. So be looking for an email on Thursday if you are a member of Center for Spiritual Living. And then next we have today coming up, we have the Interfaith Forum. That's going to be happening at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That will be on Zoom. It is not too late to register. You can open the email that we sent you earlier this week. There's a link in there, or you can go to the Riverside Interfaith Council or the Riverside Interfaith
maybe changing their bank accounts or credit cards or insurance. You know, it's the individual's personal choice and what you want to do, how little or how much you want to do. But he can give you specific, tips on what we can do. So this will be on Zoom on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And the Zoom link is available on Breeze on our website, the Connect email, Facebook. I hope you can join us. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it's very enlightening and to us empowering, because this is something we can actually do instead of just complain about what the state of the planet. And also, we finished our recent session of the Green Faith Spirit Group. I also invite you to join us, because it's a great group, and we have a lot of fun, even though there are some discouraging readings. But here's an opportunity to actually do something, align our personal finances with our values, personal values, and the values of CSL, is to make this world a better place for all creation. So thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
So once again, that is on Tuesday, and there you can register and get the Zoom link on the website by going to riversidecsl.org/classes, and it's right there. And then our next class that is coming up, starting on April 3rd. Yes, like it's far away here. Starting on April 3rd is our connection practice, and practitioner Jeannie Kataoka will be facilitating that with Susie Ammons. And so if you're tired of the turmoil and you're ready to go to tranquility, if you're tired of the chaos and ready to go to the calm, this connection practice is a great way of doing it. And if you have family or friends or coworkers that are driving you up the wall, here's a great way to connect with them in a really wonderful, deep, and powerful way. And it's called the Connection Practice, and that is April 3rd through May 1st. There's no class on April 17th, and you can register for this class as well at riversidecsl.org/classes. So we invite you to join there as well. All right. So I invite you to please stand. And let's say this affirmation together. I rest in divine joy. Now let's actually say it like we mean it. All right, here we go. I rest in divine joy. Yes, so repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. I receive it. And I move love forward. Because love lives here. Let's sing it.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it, I share it, receive it, and I move it forward because love lives here. Love lives here.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It's this thing called love. Love is in my mind. Love is in my body. Love is in everything I do. I am it. I share it. Receive it. And I move it forward because love lives here. Oh, love lives here. Yeah. Love lives here. All right, Jeff, here we go. When the feeling is gone,
One of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song, only one, in the name of love. 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 When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song, only one, in the name of love.
Sing it with us. Here we go.
In the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love.
Have a great Sunday, you guys. Love lives.